Hello and welcome back to Primary Teaching with Kyle. My name is Kyle and I'm a primary school's teacher. Today it's going to be a quick one because it's not really been, any eventful week to be honest. But let's go into what happened last week. So last week started a bit differently. Last week, Monday and Tuesdays, as I've said before in previous videos, I do supply work, but we're in week 4 now and I still haven't done any supply work in any other school apart from the school I work 3 days a week in. That is down to kind of COVID positive cases and people being ill. And I think the school just thinking of me as their first supply teacher really, because I know the school, I know behaviour. So Monday and Tuesday, I taught in year 5. Had lots of planning done, very different class. Obviously a big kind of age gap between year 3 and year 5. And overall, it went well, to be fair. There's a few characters in that class that needed, a bit of extra behavioural work. But I had really, really good support from the ECT teacher and the head teacher. They were there if anything happened. They were there, they were able to just pass them on or have a chat with them about this or that. And that was good. Yeah, it was all right, to be fair. Also at the end of the day, I was able to go back to my co-teacher, my year 3 co-teacher, and we were able to plan and complete our IEPs, our individual education plans, which took about 2 hours in the evening, one of the evenings, just because there was so much that, obviously we're still learning about the kids, but so much that they needed extra support with this or that and how to get it and how can we improve on that. And it's based on so many different, assessments, based on, teacher assessment, based on external people's assessments, and things like that. And then, then overall, really good. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, normal-ish week, really. No real change in terms of the lessons. Still did, my afternoon Wednesday and then my 2 full days Thursday, Friday. And still did my football club on a Thursday afternoon. Like I said, we're still doing well. I mean, we finished off the right stuff on finished our English right stuff plot points, and that was quite nice to get, they've done it for 2 or 3 weeks now, and they are getting to a point now where they know the routines. They're doing well with it. We changed a bit up on the maths because the maths is quite flexible. We use the right row scheme, but we try to keep it a bit flexible based on how they get on, and maybe they need another lesson on this. Or so myself and the co-teacher have a lot of chats, lots of conversation about what's going well, what's not going well. Do they need an extra lesson on this? So for example, last week it was on 1, 10 or 100 more or less, and kind of getting place value. And I think, some of them were going okay. Some of them needed a bit more work on kind of understanding the value of each number, of each digit. So 7 in the hundreds is 700. So really breaking it down that way, and so we did a lot of physical things. You're going back to your kind of concrete, your pictorial. So we did a lot of getting the place value charts out. We got a lot of using the deans, using counters, making it, drawing it, using base 10. I just really like maths for that because it just feels very easy to follow in terms of interventions, in terms of lessons that you haven't understood. It seems much more structured than English lessons, not just, in this scheme, but in any schemes that I've done before. It seems very much more easy to structure in terms of, right, well, they're not getting this, they need to do it that way. They're not getting this, they need to do it that way. And whereas English, I feel like there's so much stuff with English, you can always add this bit, or the spelling could be better, or the handwriting could be better. Oh yeah, we need to add another, we need to add another simile in there, or things like that. It's quite open, that was all good really. And then I've done in the afternoons, we had science, RE, PSHE, computing and PE. Again, all good really. Computing, they're really getting on with, we use the Turtle Academy programming. They're really understanding how to do it now. They're really starting to get to a point where we can show off and show the codes, and they understand what codes mean. They understand where it needs to go in the command. They understand how to make things. And same with the science. We're getting there with the science. They are understanding it a bit more. And RE and PSHE, we're going through it. So yeah, it's a quick one this week. Nothing more than usual. The only thing that is changed a bit is that, the ECT training still hasn't started. I did get an email this week to say I'm registered, and my ECT mentor, which is my co-teacher, did have a chat with myself and the other ECT teacher in my school, and to say that it's an issue with the DFE and registrations. Apparently I'm registered from when I was an ECT last year, but they're not sure who with, so I'm with Ambition Institute provider, but they're not registered for the other ECT teacher in my school. And from what they're saying, that it's happening across the country. Just DFE is slowing everybody down. Luckily, I know a bit from last year when I did a tiny bit of ECT training that I know it's not like masses and masses. So if we have to catch up, we have to do some modules, or we have to do things, it's not going to be loads and loads. But obviously it's frustrating because we're, almost at the end of a half term now. I've done no ECT training, no ECT support. I've had one observation of two observations of a lesson. I've observed nobody. I'm getting good experience as a supply teacher. I'm getting good experience at teaching. Got good support at the school, but it's just a bit like frustrating because, come on, we want to get started with this ECT stuff, really. We'll finish on kind of negatives and positives. The one negative is still low-level disruption still there. It's coming on. They are definitely improving, and my expectations are improving. I'm waiting a lot more. I'm really praising the ones that are doing it. The claps, the musical attention-grabbing ways are doing it. We use also, I think, quiet critters in the classroom as well. A little pile of kind of pencil toppers. They work as well to kind of get them to work in quiet. And also using that supply, working in other classes, and understanding what their expectations are. I think it just made me realise, oh no, my class can be quieter. My class can work on this. It doesn't have to be so hyper. It just needs to be, calm. That comes from me. That comes from the co-teacher. That comes from the environment that we set. So that'll come. That's just something that just needs to keep working on. And the positive, like I said, good experience in year 5. Positives is that just, we're just rolling on. So we'll seem to go wow, really. So we will see what happens next week. I've already 2 days into the next week, and I've already had 2 hectic days of supply. So hopefully Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, year 3 teaching should just be normal, really. But we'll crack on, and I'll let you know next week.